Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How is life in your world and how's things where you are? I am good. Everything here is good, and I just returned from my first therapy session, and I told you that I would tell you about it. So here we are. I literally just returned, and I want to do this video before I have a whole lot longer to process, all the stuff we talked about. It was an hour session. I had never met this counselor before, and I can tell you right off the bat that I felt wonderful. She made me feel super comfortable. She made me feel like she was seriously invested in what I was telling her, and that she was, she listened, which I guess is what I was looking for, right? But I had counseling when I was a teenager, and I liked it, but a lot of what I talked about with that counselor was not based in reality. And so this is the first time I've gone willingly, for one, without being, prescribed or forced to go to see somebody to talk to, because I want to work through some of the issues that I'm facing with projects, confidence and procrastination and perfectionism and all that stuff. And it felt really, really good. She, within just 20 or 30 minutes of us talking, she had already picked out a few things that made me really question myself. And by the end, she nailed a few things that was just kind of, whoa, like, yeah, wow. Okay, where do we go from here? And because this is a workplace staff assistance thing, I think that I think it's more common for her to see people that I don't want to say we're forced to see her. I think it's more common for her to see people that maybe their supervisor suggests they go or something like that. So for her, she was like, "You initiated this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I initiated this." And she's like, "Why?" So we talked about why I was there. We talked about what I was hoping to get out of it and all that sort of thing. And my answers were, just as truthful as I am with you. I want to, I've been on this path of self-improvement now since we started this show 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I've been really working towards self-improvement, towards finding a way for me to exist with inside myself, because I often get lost in myself. And I told her that, and I told her that, I'm just looking for tools. And if counseling is a tool that can help me, that can expedite my journey, then I'm all in. I want that. And so we talked about why I felt I needed counseling, or why I felt that I was wrong or broken or whatever. And man, we ran through the whole story. We ran through my childhood. We ran through my adulthood. We ran through relationships. We ran through children, my current, with M, with Jamie, with my parents, with a whole lot. And I'll give you a brief hint at what the end of, the thing that she said that really floored me was two things she said. She said, "I think you're an avoider," which I don't know where she picked up on that at, because we didn't talk about avoidance at all. But I am definitely the kind of person that if I'm expecting bad news in my email, I'll just never check my email again, right? I definitely am that person. So she pulled that one out of thin air as far as I'm concerned. But the other one was acceptance and validation. And she talked about how I want to do things because I want validation, but then I don't think I'm going to get the validation that I need, so I stop doing them. And this is the core of the problem. And when she said all of that, it really just kind of, and she talked about the whys. I'm not going to get into the whys, but she talked the specific things that I told her about my past. She linked it all together, and it made a whole lot of sense in that moment. Because I've always been the person to tell myself I don't care what other people think. I don't need validation. But I think in reality, that's what I've been seeking all along. That's the reason why, I continue to do this because you validate me. The 30, 40, 50 of you watching validate me every day. You come back and you respond and you tell me, good luck, or you encourage me, or you cheer for me, or you question me, or whatever. And I think as much as I want to say it, I don't do this for the validation. I can't, I'll say this, I don't do this exclusively for validation, but the validation is definitely a factor. And it's a factor in all of my life. And so we're going to work on that. We're going to go back in 2 weeks. And she's asked me to kind of, if I feel motivated to do some writing, or to take in some of my previous writing, or to, she's encouraged me to continue my self-help journey and bring anything that I feel compelled to share with her. And I've already thought of a few things on the ride home that I don't want to talk about on camera right now, that I'm willing to share with her and see where that goes. But I really enjoyed it. I really felt that was one of the most productive hours that I've had in recent memory, to talk to a professional, somebody who knows exactly what to hear, how to hear it, that can listen to intonation, that can observe body language, that can really, really see what's going on seemingly without effort. It's like magic, honestly. So it was good. And if you've been considering seeing a counselor or a therapist or a psychiatrist or a psychologist, I would highly encourage you to do it. I probably should have done this long, long, long ago, but I couldn't afford it long, long, long ago. What I could afford was medication, so I chose medication. We did discuss, whether I was adverse to medication, but I told her I would like to try without it. But if it comes to that, I'm not opposed. So I don't know. I get 3 sessions through this program, and then from there, she can kind of help me figure out what the next step is, and whether I need to find a therapist or whether I need to medicate or whatever it might be. So we'll see where it goes. I will let you know after the next session, and I'll probably talk more about this over the next couple of weeks. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends, because apparently that validation motivates me. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow. Alexa, tell me a random fact.
Ancient Greek had no word for the color blue. Instead, several dark colors, including dark blue, shared one word, Kianios, while light colors shared another, Glaukos.
Interesting, Kianios. Huh.